Good after, good. Hello, how are you? Good evening. Uh, now, we'll start off with our hymns and Sweetheart of Jesus, Fount of love and mercy, today we come, thy blessing to implore. Oh, touch our hearts, so cold and so ungrateful, and make us love thee more and more each day. Sweetheart of Jesus, we implore. Oh, make us love thee more and more. Sweetheart of Jesus, make us pure and gentle, and teach us how to do thy blessed will, to follow close the print of thy dear footsteps. And when we fall, sweetheart, oh, love us still. Sweetheart of Jesus, we implore. Oh, make us love thee more and more. Isn't that a nice little hymn? I love that hymn, Sweetheart of Jesus. There's a few more verses in it, but I think two is sufficient unto the days that need thereof. Now we'll sing one for our Blessed Mother. Yeah. Did you do it? Ave Maria, gratia plena, Maria, gratia plena, Maria, gratia plena, Ave, Ave, Dominus, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesu. Ave Maria, Santa Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis, nostrae, in hora mortis nostrae, in hora mortis nostrae. Ave Maria. That's that one now. So let's talk now. So today started off cold, 4 degrees. Well, it's certainly not warm. You have to put on an overcoat when you're doing your chores. So I did my chores there this morning. I do my prayer time, and I do actually the apostles, and then I do um, the Divine Mercy, Sister Maria Faustina. All the Divine Mercy is a result of our Saviour talking to Sister from Maria Faustina uh, in Poland, in the different convents she was in. God bless her. Yeah. And I'm reading a book written by a Jesuit. I'd have to skip a bit of it because they go on like a halfpenny book about this, that, and the other. So today, anyway, few chores. I hung out my clothes because it was sunny for a change. I had them washed there, and you couldn't hang them out with the rain. But they seemed to be dry today, so I hung them out this morning, and then I brought them in this evening because when it goes a certain time, they nearly get wet again or something. So I brought them in and put them on radiators. And they will be grand by tomorrow because I'm expecting my friend Eamon to come down tomorrow, probably afternoon, and stay until Thursday because he has two sisters, and his daughter Roisin was trying to arrange a meal for them in some place that would be convenient for them and those. But I think to me the handiest place would be the Lucan Spa. There's plenty of parking and the meals are quite good there. Yeah, but they might have some other place in mind. There was one place she picked, and would you believe it? For a two-course meal, guess how much? It's sort of a fancy place. 65 smackaroos, €65. And if you had a glass of wine, you could maybe have to go to the bank for a loan, or just sort of prices. A bottle of wine costs probably a fortune. Another €60 for something that's only be worth €10. Well, of course, you have overheads as a boss, staff to be paid, then cooks to be paid, or chefs. So there we are. Anyway, then I was ringing my friend Michelle, but I had to leave two messages. Well, I left one message and then there was no reply, so I got my ride on more. Now the grass wasn't dry like because it's this time of the year, but there was a bit more growth in it than I would have liked, so off I went. And it was a tough old job in some ways because the grass was not what we call dry. Well, you can't expect dry grass this time, but I had the machine up at a higher cutting business because there was no point in having it at the usual four. It would be just too much for it, so I had it up at 5 or 6, 5 mostly. And did the job, and mind you, it was hard raking it out, You have to rake it out and lift it up and then rake it out and putting it up on the ditch at the side, like have a hedge along or there's trees, and to put it there rather than what we used to put it on where we had the grass, but all that was clear, thank God. So up there it'll act as a barrier as well. But it's tedious, this sort of a job, but I was glad to get to doing it. So these are chores that you have to do. And I know some of for the flower bed for my late wife, Lord Mercer. She had what I call green fingers. I possessed the dead opposite. But I helped, of course, and she used to take cuttings, and she had more pots than you could shake a stick at. But I gave them to my cousin. I was glad to get rid of them. Flowers and God knows what. It takes you 20 minutes trying to water them, and the weather was dry. Now it seemed to be dry when I was at that jar. Anyway, I got rid of them all, and I got the trees cut down all the rest. But I noticed in some places they were cut down, but there's little bits of old yokes coming out of them, like there'd be more blinking yokes. Funny, isn't it? And you wouldn't think to be ant could possibly grow, but there you go. So that'd be another chore to get rid of them. Well, there's quite a few around. And the beginners, before you could say Jack Robinson, they'd be up and more out cutting. But I'm going to try and get rid of them now, please God, before Christmas. I'll be away at another retreat from the 9th to the 13th. 4 nights. Yeah, retreat. But it's in the hotel the Knockhouse Hotel, and the rate was very good for a bed and breakfast and evening meal. And so it won't be as strict as the other one. And I didn't inquire into what exactly way it's. I'll find that out soon enough. No point in. I know what the silent ones are like, except you're singing hymns that varies before Father Anthony Sage comes in and gives a good talk and all the rest of it. Yeah. So I've been at a few of them now, and I have a feeling I won't be going to any more because I like a more, what would I call it, informal type of situation that I can go to confession. That's the main thing. They have plenty of priests there for the sacrament of confession, and I like that. Sometimes when you go to the local priest, our priest here now is very good. He's having confession after every mass during Advent. And that's good because his mass is Monday. There was a funeral this morning, apparently. Monday, he said it yesterday at Mass. Monday, he has 10 o'clock Mass. Monday, well, of course, it would have been later now this morning for the funeral. I think I heard the kind of the slow moving bell after 12. I couldn't gather the name of the person that he said. I would love if they could just say it slow. When I do the reading for the Malones, I do it in such a way that unless you were deaf, you'd understand. I speak slow and audible so as it can be understood. It's funny, isn't it? I couldn't for the life of me know who it was that died, and I'd normally go to a funeral, but I was busy enough this morning. I was up early enough. But then I took a rest again, and did my say my prayers and for the intentions for the Holy Roads, because quite a few, and then for all the people that have gone before. I know a lot of people at this stage, and I pray for them, even if they weren't friends as such. I knew them, if you know what I mean. It's quite a few, I can tell you. Yeah, it'd take me 15 minutes or 10 minutes or something, given all that. So it can be difficult if you're up and you're doing it. So when I do the Holy Rosary in the morning, after I do the videos, I do I do the Station of the Cross first, and my little book, and then I do the Holy Rosary. I've already offered up the intentions, quite a few, and then for the happy repose of all those gone before, including my parents and all my relatives. They've all of my uncles and aunts now, they've gone to their maker, and then other ones here there. So quite a few, I can tell you. My darling wife Julie's relatives that have died, and then others as well. So this is all that I do. And then the Chapel of the Mercy. I offer up that for intentions as well. So it takes a quite a bit of time till I'm finished. But I think that's one of the things when you're on your own, you're able to do these. When you're walking, it's not so handy. But you can walk it in at the same time, somewhere or another, because that's what keeps you right. Yeah, it keeps you sort of what they call the straight and narrow. As Jesus said, the road to heaven is narrow, and not many take it, he said, but hope a good few take it. They're trying to do their best. And when you're younger and walking in that, your friends and they want to meet here, there, and yonder, and your life takes a different pattern. But I noticed when I retired from the insurance company, I went and did the same kind of business that was in years before in the pet food area, and I did all right. So I noticed when I had my own time like that, while I mightn't have had much chance in the home, on my journeys, I did all my prayers, and I always visited a church and did the Stations of the Cross. So I started, but I did my prayers beforehand and went to Mass, of course. But I wouldn't have been as involved, and I wasn't doing videos. I did them when I retired, when through certain circumstances it wasn't something I planned. But it transpired that way, and then I've been doing them since with Oliver. He's very good and very knowledgeable about the way he's able to do them. And he's well informed. He's benefited. If we start in 2015, he's benefited. And of course, because I was dealing with the public all my life in sales and sales management at home and abroad, so I well used to having to sort of communicate, because you don't have to be first of all, when you whatever product you have, you treat people with respect and as friends, and that's what they become. And they look forward to seeing you, and I look forward to seeing them. It's a gift, and it's thanks be to God. He gave me that gift. And so I'm very grateful. Bye now, and we'll do evening prayer to our Blessed Mother and a couple of others after this. Bye now.